Hey beautiful people, it's your girl makeup artist DeShawn Hatcher, and she is back from having laryngitis. Yes, I had laryngitis for a whole week. Yes, one day I went to work and I had a really great day, and the next morning I woke up like this. That was it. It was over and out. And so, my boyfriend thought it was hilarious. So at least there was someone who just got a tee-hee-hee out of my laryngitis. And so that is why I am a little late with these videos this week. And I have to do these videos for you guys whenever I can. 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, whenever I can. And you know, I couldn't do it last week because of my voice. So I'm back, and I'm so happy to be back, and I'm so happy to be back with you fabulous makeup artists. So I want to talk about one of my all-time favorite kit items, and that is Embryolisse Lait Concentrate. It is this fabulous stuff right here. So I discovered Embryolisse about 10 years ago now. And how did I discover it? Well, my friend, my pal, my love, Mr. Kevin James Bennett, two-time Emmy Award winning Kevin James Bennett, he introduced me to it. We were at the makeup show together, and he had just kind of said, "Hey, DeShawn, you're going to get some Embryolisse today?" And I was just like, "I don't know what the hell you're talking about." And then he said, "Really?" And I said, "I have no idea what you're talking about." And so he said, "Come here, girl." He grabbed my hand and he dragged me to the Embryolisse table, and I purchased this size. I purchased this. Not this particular one, but I purchased this, and I said, okay, I'll try it. You know, if Kevin is the whisperer in our business, so if he says to try something, at least I will try it. And I tried it, and I have never stopped using it. Holy hell. Okay, so why is DeShawn so freaking nutsy cuckoo over it? Like so many of our fellow makeup artists. If you look in most of our professional kits, you will see Embryolisse in our kits. Okay. One of the reasons why I really love Embryolisse, to me, is I can use it on everybody. And now, I know people say, oh, it's not really good for oily skinned people. Well, I happen to be oily skinned. I happen to be very oily skinned. So since I am an oily skin person, I purchased this to see how it would work on my skin at first. Oily skin people need moisture too. We have the oil glands that are secreting, yes, but we also have skin that needs the moisture, okay? Sometimes oily skinned people will have the, I don't know how to explain it, because only oily skin people understand this. But oily skin people, we have this tendency to feel this blech on our face. It's like this oil, secreting oil, and the heavier, the more oil that you have in your skin, the more blech you feel. It just feels impacted. And then if you do this, you can see all the oil popping off of our skin. Okay, but what else is missing from our skin? Moisture, hydration. So while we're trying to treat all of this excess oil that's in our skin, we're sucking the life. We're sucking the life out of everything else. And so that is one of the reasons why oily skinned people need moisture. That's one of the things I wanted to see, how well this stuff was going to hydrate my skin. And let me tell you something, it did. And here's the deal, when you use this on oily skin people, you're only going to use a little bit. We don't need as much as, to say, a dry skinned person. So to say that you can't use this on oily skin is just, I don't know why somebody would say that. Of course you can. It is just that you use a little bit. Okay, so how much of this stuff should you put on an oily skinned person? Well, I would say about that much right there. You guys can see there's really not much on there. And quite frankly, I would start off with half of that. Basically, I'm just gonna rub this in. So basically what will happen is this. As makeup artists, yes, we are makeup artists. As a makeup artist, you're going to feel the person's skin. Now, I know for people who have gone to school that that is a no-no. Don't touch the face. That's what I learned when I went to school. Don't touch the face. Okay. I'm not sure how we're supposed to be makeup artists if we don't touch the face. So that kind of little thing that they teach you in school, throw it out the window. Okay. So now you're going to touch the face. Right? And you're going to start to learn what feels dry to you and what feels hydrated. And what will happen is that you'll start to feel, you know, a nice soft section, like think of like a velvet. So like you'll feel a nice soft section, and then all of a sudden you'll feel a kind of like a rougher section. So think of that like suede. Okay, so all of a sudden it's velvet, and then suede, whoop. So that tells you that in that suede area, wherever it may be, that area needs more moisture. So then I would just take it and I would dab just a little bit. We're not going crazy with this stuff because a little bit of Embryolisse goes a long way. Use it for, I just tend to use it as a moisturizer. People call it a primer. You know, it's skin prepping. Anytime you skin prep, you are priming the skin to take on the makeup. So whether you're just using a moisturizer or you're actually using a primer for the skin, this is what you're going to pull out and use first. Remember, you use moisturizer first, primer second. The other thing that you can do with Embryolisse is you take your steel palette, you put a little bit of this, you put a little bit of Embryolisse on top of your steel palette, and you take your foundation and you could just mix it and you can make a beautiful, how do you say, tinted moisturizer, especially if you're doing something that doesn't require a lot of foundation. Or let's say you have a person who has just beautiful skin and they don't need all this stuff. You can easily just mix it up. I do it all the time. Sometimes as an editorial thing that you can do if you're working with models and so on and so forth. You know, that dewy skin look, all you have to do is just take a little Embryolisse and then pat it in areas that you want, and you'll get the prettiest dew look. So there's so many things that one can do with Embryolisse. It is just amazing. So that's my spiel about Embryolisse. I hope you get it. I hope you try it. It comes in 2 sizes. It comes in a lot of sizes, excuse me. I normally buy this size, this is 1 ounce. This size is good for the airlines. And then I have the big 2.5 ounce one that I just showed you. So there's a couple of different things that, you know, sizes that I should say that you can buy. And besides that, I mean, that's it. That is the spiel of Embryolisse. Remember to touch the skin. It's okay to touch the skin. I swear it's okay. And I will be back with another video. I have a special video coming up for you guys because I went to IMATS, New York City this year, and I spoke there and I was on a panel. So I'm going to share that with you guys as well. It was supposed to be shared last week, but then I was sick with freaking laryngitis. It was painful. Ugh. So anyway, I am back and I will have more videos for you this week. And besides that, beautiful people, like, subscribe, share. Do you have Embryolisse? And if you do, let a sister know. Do you love it? Do you hate it? You like, yo, DeShawn, that is the bomb, or yo, DeShawn, not really feeling it? That's okay too. I always like to hear whatever you guys feel. It's fine with me. It's not going to change my opinion of it, but it could help somebody else. So it's all right with me. And that's it. I will be back with another video for you fabulous makeup artists. I am back. I'll see you next week. Bye, guys. You know, I signed off and I wanted to say, I forgot to tell you one thing. When you're using Embryolisse, as with any other type of moisturizer or primer, whatever you're using, if you have excess left on the skin and it's just sitting on top of the skin, it won't absorb anymore, you have to take a tissue and blot that joint off, You have to, because sometimes anything can mix with anything. So in other words, as I said, you can take Embryolisse and mix it with a foundation like a Graftobian, RCMA, with almost a lot of different things. But there are certain products that just don't seem to work well with it. And the only one that I've come across so far that doesn't seem to jive well with it is the Miron Celebrity foundation. For some reason, these two things, they're no bueno, they're no good. So you have to be careful with things, because what will happen is, I'll tell you what happens with the Miron, is you get this heightened sense of like a greasy feel to everything. Everything just gets greasier. And so you have to be careful of that. I have noticed that. I happen to love Celebrate, but I also know that I have to be very, very careful with how I use it. I have to be very, very careful about using Embryolisse and how I do it. In other words, I make sure that I blot off all excess. There is no Embryolisse left sitting on top of the skin. And then once I know that it has absorbed, which is about 5 minutes, then I'll go in and I will start putting Celebrate on. So I just want to make that clear. If you're having a funkiness with it, it's probably because you have too much excess sitting on top of the skin and you have to blot that joint off, okay? So that's my extra tip for you.